when picking English peas, you want to be really careful not to damage the plant. What I usually do is take my thumb and my finger and I just, or either both hands, sometimes you have to just pull them off up there because it's so easy to damage the plant. These here, several of these is ready. The problem we're facing now is it's getting to be too dry. The soil is drying out, and I mean, it's right at a crucial time for us with our English peas. You can't even hardly, I mean, you look, the ground's just like powder. So we're probably going to have to do some watering today in order to keep our English peas going. And one of the things I might want to mention about English peas is it's okay out in the middles of the rows to pull up weeds, but once your English peas get established, don't ever reach up and around your English peas and pull up weeds up and around them, because the root system on English pea is right on top of the ground, and if you disturb the root system, you mess the plant's ability to produce up. That's something that took me a long time to learn. Now if there's a little plant like this one, it's a little tiny one that has a little small tap root, that's fine. But anything that's evasive and you go to pull it and start breaking up the ground everywhere, you're just destroying your English peas. But we've learned when the first ones start getting ready, if we go ahead and get them off, it really helps the other ones to start coming on. Because English peas are going to predominantly get ready from the bottom coming up. You're not going to find any on the top ready before the bottom ones all get ready.
Okay, today, this is about a 2-gallon bucket. This is what we pick in. These are $1 at our local grocery store. You can see we got it's almost full. It's up to the little top rim. So we shall be shelling. We have another bucket to put the holes in. And of course, 2 pans because Danny's helping. And my coffee. It is time to shell.
Okay. Shelling our first batch of English peas.
Look at this.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
I want to show one of these.
Look at that.
Just awesome.
Awesome looking, I mean. More food making Deep South sustainable. Okay, with our English peas here, one of the things you want to make sure with your English peas is that you really wash them good. Now we've washed ours, this is the 3rd time. We've run them through water and we use a colander because they've got sand, they got little tiny pieces of leaves, they got little old blooms and stuff like that. That's one of the main things you want to make sure of, is that your English peas are really clean, because if you don't, and you put them in that jar, that stuff's going to come to the top and you're going to see it. We're going to do a canning video today on our English peas. We went out this morning, made our picking. Think we've got enough to do a canner full, so we're going to show you a little bit about what it's like to can English peas at Deep South Homestead. These here are the English peas we've got shelled out this morning. We got to kind of hurry because English peas, once you get them out of the hull, you got just a limited amount of time, because these are very high in sugar. It's the little marble type. The sugars will begin to turn to starches real quick, and they are not very sweet anymore, so we're going to try to do this as quick as possible and go ahead and get them in jars and get them canned. What we're going to do is we're going to take our first bowl, we're going to bring it over here, turn the light on where we can see what we're doing here. What we've got our boiling water, we've got our pressure canner. English peas have to be pressure canned for 40 minutes. We got our jars back here heating in some water. What we do is we take our jars, good hot jars. The water's not boiling because you don't have to have boiling water. The new lids don't require boiling water, but the jar, it needs to be close, just not boiling. We set them up here. We put our funnel on it. And we're doing what's called a raw pack, so we're putting cold English peas into hot jars. You want to leave 1-inch head space on them. Now what it is here, you don't want to, they don't advise packing them down in the jars. Now there's your 1-inch ring right there. That's all we're going to put into it. We're going to get myself in order here. We're going to take 1/2 teaspoon of salt per pint. make sure non-iodized sea salt. You do not want to use iodized sea salt. Now we're going to take our boiling water. We're going to put it in our jar. We're going to bring it up to the 1 inch mark. We're not going to go any higher with the water. And once we get to that point, we keep a damp paper towel. We're going to make sure we wipe the top of this ring off here. The lid, we don't want anything to mess up our seal. We're going to take our little magnet. We're going to reach over here. Now we like to use the silver ball lids. We found in our cellar it's humid, and the silver colored ball lids hold up better than the gold colored ones do. These are hot bands. Just run them down good and hand tight and set them over in there. That is how we're going to be doing it. And once we get a few more jars done, we'll show you what the pressure cooker looks like once we get it full. Alright, we're coming down. We're going to see if we got 1 or 2 more jars left here. Looks like Wanda's going to get her wish. Yep. Wanda's getting her wish there.
I'll tell what it is.
She wanted us to have enough to eat fresh. So, looks like there's not enough here to can, so we're going to get some fresh to eat today, looks like. Always try to put that cap on there. It keeps salt from getting around the edge of the rim.
Jars.
Okay. Let's get our ladles of water in here. A little bit more. Alright. Here we are. Going down to our last jar. We're going to wipe the rim off. Remember, sterile jars, sterile rings, sterile lids equals safe food. And I'm a little OCD. Wanda always stays on me here. When I put my lids on where the writing is there, I try to line them up on the front of the jar where the emblem's on the jar. That way when I stack them on the shelves, my writing is in line. Alright, we've got our jar in here. Get them spaced out where they're not touching each other. Alright. Got 7 in there. Looks like we're going to have a good canner full here. And what you want to do next, you want to check your seal. Make sure it's in good shape. This one looks like it's working good. You want to find your arrows on your lids on this particular canner. And once you get it on there, you want to line it up. Do not put your weight on here. The jiggler thing, ours is set at 10 pounds for our altitude. Do not put that on until you have good pressure coming out of this. Make sure your airway is clean and everything's in good shape. And once we get it to the jiggling stage, it's going to take about 40 minutes to can pints or quarts with English peas. Okay, now that the pressure canner is starting to blow the steam out, you can see it there. Been doing it now for about 10 minutes. We're going to put our little weight on the top now. Next, what we're going to wait now is for the jiggler to start jiggling, and we'll adjust our temperature. Okay, we have our pressure cooker now has started, the mechanism here has started jiggling. We'll usually turn our heat down just a little bit. We don't want it to get to jiggling too hard. Then we'll reach over here. We want to set the timer for 40 minutes. Now that it's jiggling, and when the timer goes off, we'll take it off the hot burner.
Okay, so our timer just timed out. We'll turn it off. We're going to turn the fire off. This, I'm going to move just slightly. And as you can see, I sat it just enough that it's got air going under it so that it can start cooling off. And the jiggler has slowed down considerably. We'll let it sit here for about maybe an hour, hour and a half to cool off, and then we will take out our peas.
Okay, pressure cooker is cooled off now. The little thing is popped down here. We're going to take this off. No heat coming out. Now when you take this off, you want to be careful and tilt that back away from you, and kind of as any extreme heat, it won't blow up on you. Alright, let me get a hot pad here. Get these up out of here. Let's take a look at what we got. You don't want to stack them close together because they'll keep boiling in the jar. You want to get some good air passage between them. Okay, what I like to do, I always take me a towel and throw over the top of them for just a minute or two, because if there's any water sitting on the top of them, that towel will absorb the water off the lids. These are extremely hot, so do not touch them with your hand. And then we'll wait and leave them, and we'll come back and check and make sure the rings have all popped down, the lids have all popped down on them. Okay, the jars have all cooled down now, and all the tops have sealed. You push them, they're all sucked in, so we're happy with this. We've got some good looking English peas here. See the English peas in the jars. They've done real well. All of them turned out real nice. These will be headed for the cellar probably tomorrow. We got 7 more to add to our stash to eat later in the year. If you like what you've seen from Deep South Homestead, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.